Welcome to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller, the podcast. I'm joined by Seth.
Hey, welcome, guys. Thanks for finding us on the internet.
Now, these shows originally aired on Brookings Radio, but now they're all here for your enjoyment. I hope you like it.
There you go. Sit back, enjoy the show, relax. Let us know if you want to see anything on future shows. As we said, this comes out live in the Brookings area, but enjoy this archive episode.
Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Welcome to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. This week on the show, we're talking about the local home brew club, the Brew Kings, and their recent brew day at Bank Brewing in Hendricks. Richard Droughty says he knew there was a brewing community in the area, and that led to the Brew Kings.
Just wanted to organize them, and I figured we'd start a Facebook group, and we actually started as the SDSU Homebrew Club, tried to set up with the student organization, the student association, and get young brewers started. We found out that the brewing community is actually a little bit older, more established. It's kind of an expensive hobby. So we kind of disassociated with SDSU and made it more of just a whole Brookings community thing. We got about 30 people that are active and about 100 people on our Facebook group.
The group can be a great resource for those just getting into home brewing.
That's what we meant it to be. When you first start, there's a lot of questions, and so we just want to be available. Experience is usually what people look to whenever they first start, and it's always helpful to have someone around that can just give them a few tips along the way and come and have opportunities like this where we get together and do big batches together, bounce ideas off each other, and just learn, you know.
He says if you're interested, the easiest way to join up or find out more is to check out their Facebook page.
It's really informal. We just have a Facebook group, Brew Kings. It's just a play on the word Brookings with BREWKINGS. And it's a closed group, but if you just send an invite, as long as you live in the Brookings area, usually we'll let you in, and don't say anything vulgar and you won't get kicked out. So pretty easy-going group.
Rich is also the head brewer at Bank Brewing. He spoke to us during the event called the Wort Transformation Challenge, where the group cooked up a big batch of wort on Bank's commercial system. Each participant, including me, took home 5 gallons.
The funnest part is we go and everyone gets to do whatever they want with the wort, add different dry hops, use different yeasts. Some people will do spice additions. And then we come back after about a month or two when everyone's got their beer ready, and we'll sometimes crown a champion, sometimes just pass the beer around and enjoy the beer. And enjoy it.
My 5 gallons currently at home, fermenting nicely, I might add. I'm going to dry hop it, and I've got another secret ingredient in mind, but we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. More Beer Untapped with Perry Miller coming right up.
Yes, here's to brewer's yeast, that humblest of all beasts, producing carbon gas, producing acetaldehyde. But my friends, that isn't all. It makes ethyl alcohol. Yes, that is what the yeast excretes, and that's what we imbibe. Oh, anaerobic methylation, alcoholic fermentation, NADH oxidation. Give me a beer.
Welcome back to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. We continue our brewing theme today with a chat with Chris Harding, brewer at Wooden Legs Brewing in Brookings. Originally from Wales, he's been with Wooden Legs just over a year. He'd never before brewed a beer.
I'd done a little bit of work back home in a pub, but yeah, no, I'd never had any real concept of American craft beer. I was relatively familiar with real ale in Britain, which is slightly a different thing, and it's a lot more cask orientated. But no, American craft beer is something completely different. So I only originally started here as a bartender, and then you slowly get into the brewing here at the pub, and that's how it happened.
Chris has yet to brew one of his own recipes, but that may be coming soon.
We do a thing at the pub called the Pub Keep series, where each member of staff gets to brew their own beer. Ange did a coconut stout, Ethan did a vanilla porter, Cassie did a chocolate chipotle stout. So mine will be coming up relatively soon. I'm looking to do some sort of radler, ideally with local apple juice. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but apples take a while to come into season, so that's what I've been waiting for.
A radler is a beer, often a wheat beer, mixed with fruit juice. Now, when it comes to favorite kinds of beer, Chris likes a pretty wide variety.
I like IPAs. I like stouts. I'm a big fan of cider, but cider in this country is still kind of catching up. I really do miss cask ales. I don't know, it is just a completely different flavor. I would also say, in terms of favorite styles, I'm kind of a sucker for American lagers. It always kind of bums me out when you get people come in and say, oh, well, I like to drink real beer. And I always hate that term because I knowing now how hard the brewing process is, the idea that someone sits there and says, oh, it's PBR. PBR is really difficult to make, you know?
A time for fun, a job well done for Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. It's fun to relax and join your friends with Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
Of course, it is Halloween week. They're going to tap some very special beers for the occasion at Pints and Quarts in Brookings.
We're tapping 3 great beers. Surly Cocoa Bender. I think it's the first time this beer's ever been in the state. Second one we're tapping is a firkin of Mocha Monkey. It's a coffee chocolate zombie monkey from Tallgrass. It's a porter. New Belgium, we're also tapping their La Terror. It's a dry hop sour ale for all you sourheads out there. We got 4 other new beers in that will be filtering into our lineup. We scrounged up another keg of Russian Imperial Stout from Rogue. We got 3 kegs from Odell. Their Gramps Oatmeal Stout, Trellis Garden Ale, and 180 shilling. I tried the Gramps and the 180 shilling at the brewery about a week and a half ago, and they were fantastic.
That, of course, Sully Sullivan, who says there'll be lots of fun for Halloween, including bobbing for beers.
$2, and you get to reach inside our mystery barrel of beers, and there's some tricks and there's some treats in there, but I guarantee you're not going to pull out a domestic. Everything in there is going to be interesting.
Sully also fills us in on the Pints and Quarts Mike Tap Handle Beer of the Week, also kind of Halloween themed.
This week we're doing Rogue Dead Guy. For Halloween, it's a nice, dry, copper-colored Marzen-style beer, obviously brewed by Rogue. Got a nice little skeleton with a beer and a funny hat on the tap handle. Good, easy drinking beer.
Finally, a reminder from Brookings Liquor Store. They're taking names for 2 very limited beers, Alaskan Brewing Smoked Porter and Goose Island Bourbon County Brand Stout. You can sign up today. Hey, that's it for this week's episode of Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Next week, the Sioux Falls Craft Beer Expo. Until then, drink local and drink responsibly. Thank you for listening to this archived edition of Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Feel free to listen to other episodes, and if there's anything you'd like us to talk about on a future show, please let us know. Thanks again.